Welcome to the Manhua Review channel. If you see or remember, like, share and subscribe channel to watch the new and fastest episodes. Continuation episode 717. Don't panic, people. There is a word that God will come again. At this moment the sound of the German millions, once again echoing in everyone's ears, make everyone unconsciously rejoice. It's really uplifting again. Bite your lips. Two hands once again aggressive decisive action. One person who is suspicious for Sao after VI. This brother was betrayed by the god of the dragon chain, and you can do 10 parts of that. But people couldn't manage much. For the maintenance of the eternal way, for the first time, they wanted to risk their lives. Shot out hundreds of iron chains again. Shot to the long chain. But this time the Dragon King was still. The iron chains, once again, the chain is locked in the same place. In my eyes there flashed a ray of hope. Everybody raised their heads together. Look at your victory. Maybe keep fighting. They will have hope of winning. That's what they see. It's Jack's ridicule-filled eyes again. Sprinkled teeth. Just this one moment, there were 2 loud sounds around them. And everyone was stunned. Let's look at the sound coming. Again met the German steel interlocking cylinder. Together they broke up. His body is also constantly retreating, on the face of the dress. Sorry, brothers. This time my brother couldn't stand it. What does your brother do? In my blinking eyes it's hard to believe. Disciples of heaven and earth justice. It is impossible to look at the shadow. This big brother is revered by them away. There are even tears in my eyes. In the pain. They really didn't expect it. They will be captured by the big brother. All day long I want to save. They throw away. Coldly looking at it all. I can probably feel it. Because people's minds flicker. Border forces also weakened on a large scale. He suddenly laughed and laughed. You haven't thought clearly. Just now your brother Kiavia. I'll give you a tube of chicken blood. It's just to give you all your strength. Help maintain the barrier so he can escape. If the boundary doesn't collapse, the whole thing dies. How good are your 9 lives now? Exchange him for a fugitive. You are in the right place, ha ha ha. The eyelids should not tremble. People are startled on the one hand, looking in the direction of millions of There German are suspicious pillars. Eyes in my eyes. I don't dare to face my brothers. The German had bent low and said this. But the party needs someone to come back alive, to direct the disciples below to practice. Prepare for the next song-long festival. This is your world. Don't make excuses for Germany. You are a dishonest young man. You threw us away. And he didn't end his words. A disciple who was a cowardly soul shouted so loudly, but I didn't wait for him to finish. It's a loud sound. Probably moving the idea in my head. The Dragon King's chain force violently threw up his body. Immediately bring all the chains on the body break. At the same time, the big dragon body hit the boundary. Under the rumbling echoes, the border is completely broken. Huge body soaring to the sky, emitting a scream of indignation that no one can match. The 9 disciples of heaven and earth face up to the sky, together spitting out a beam of blood. In the eyes of Ra, there is absolutely no air. Creaking a fall on the ground. The body is empty. The soul of destruction. There's only one eye open, filled with hatred and hatred. I don't know if this is a coincidence or a certainty. Mankind controls the force very well. Deliberately made. After the 9 disciples were disgraced, the strong pressure of the dragon flew up into the air. When falling down, it's true that we fell together around 1 million German pillars. Make a circle. The 2 pupils of all of them are creepy, staring at him. He just lifted his eyes. You can't be threatened with a wobble. I dare not face it in fear. His face was filled with shame. People watching on the battlefield. When I saw that, my face was filled with contempt. Look at where he is, in contempt for an hour. The 4 bodies are fake. Dare not overcome the difficulty was enough to make people despise. But take my brother. Early afternoon in my June-made fireworks stick. Protect yourself. It's a matter of dignity. Then find an excuse not to be responsible. It's more closely related to gender. Let's say you actually made them into bullets. How comfortable to admit it? It can also be considered arrogant. Let's go back to being a ghost. But now he's forced to appear. It makes everyone look down extremely. Is he still a man or not? The receiver reluctantly sighed and shook his head. Vuthenther finally understand the meaning in the words of phantom information. Seven hopes to sigh. Millions of Germans. It's actually worse than his imagination. They are also to shining eyes. No wrong nod. Then one looks in admiration at the city. The tiger is a girl. Commies from struggles between secular clans. For this kind of pseudo-gentleman, it's really just a quick glance. They have been practicing for years like them. Too little browsing schedule. They only know good and evil. They're completely unaware of the complexity of humanity. It's really hard to believe. Millions German. The road is the leader of heaven and earth. You can do that kind of thing. When you meet him, you must be 3 steps away. This person is absolutely not worth associating with. Just thought of this. Hydrolyzed flowers roll their eyes. Look at the military declaration behind you. The light eyebrows want to talk again. Sister, what are you looking at me for? He is missing Vu for sure. I won against a guy who's not happy. Suddenly saw the deformed eyes of Tunenhao. I was surprised to ask. Just think for a moment. Finally shaking his head for a sigh. Nothing, brother. The military must constantly rise up. Zai Chen Chen. You must consider this a law. Russia is impatient to wear. The expression of a cold, abnormal lack of weapons. In her eyes flashed Len fashion TIA. I don't want people to know. She took a long gulp of air. Water Lily HOA turn around. On the face of a nervous battle. I don't know why. From beginning to end. She always felt that her brother took care of her from childhood to adulthood. Now it's getting more and more out of the way. Shake yourself one. The shadow is sure. Suddenly appeared in front of millions. The German standing next to you is the head of the Kia terrorist. On the face with a devilish smile. In the eyes involuntarily shrink. Million German pillars hastily put on their arms. Loud screams to stop. I admit that you can't keep moving. We are not starting now either. World final match layout. I said surrender. You have no reason to keep moving. The elders quickly brought us back. Heaven and earth justice tone. We accept defeat. Millions of German cylinder 7 continuous screeching in the blink of an eye. Forgot his sorrow when he sold his brother. Constantly turning to the elders for judgment. On the battlefield, call for help for an hour. In the eyes of the elders, flashes of contempt. Grudgingly shaking his head towards the 2 elders who held the door with their eyes. The Tukia understood immediately to open the gate of the boundary. Just for a moment, a white light fell into a small mountain cup. Sound judgment of elders. Suddenly moved in. Top 3 tone provocation war. Mob book cardboard fight heaven and earth justice Ghost cardboard. Book cardboard win. The 2 sides are not allowed to continue. Just finished. There was an immediate shout in the battlefield as the mountains roar. Feng Yan Iron Bo Ba also aggressively in power, excited that HOA foot dance hand, although their target is actually the top 3. But now you can avoid waking up. It keeps them from getting excited. Happy not only. The swordsman and the swordsman looked at each other with a smile of joy. That the cardboard books from down 3 cardboard one-way hit. We finally made it to the top 5. It's really gratifying, although because it must be, the sword must stop in front of the door. You can see the location. It hasn't changed for thousands of years. There's also movement after all. They are also happy in their hearts, and at least this proves it. The West is constantly moving in. This time is bring cardboard books become Black Horse at Song Long Festival. So the next time, it will be the time of the sword. They have this belief. A steady look inside the eye. It's like 2 swords. The 10 sword god disciples glanced at each other. They all let out loud laughter filled with joy. It seems that this time the attack was successful. It's them. Pedal, pedal, pedal in small paint cup. Although the sound declared, the old accusation of the old elder judge soon fell down. But the pace of progress is sure. The world still doesn't stop. Gradually approaching a million German pillars. The corners of her lips slipping on the sinister curve.